Campaign for the 2025 FIBA AmeriCup. Canada looking to remain perfect in Group C and get within touching distance of a ticket to next year's showpiece event as they welcome Mexico, who instead would tie the Canadians at the top if they could pull off a road win here tonight. They arrive having won their last two. Canada 3-0 so far in front of this crowd at the Sastal Center. This a crunch clash at the top. Elsewhere in this group later tonight, Nicaragua welcome Dominican Republic. All teams then play their final two games of qualifying in February, with Nicaragua as tournament host already taking one of the three available spots at next year's AmeriCup. Each win in this group even more important, just two additional tickets. Canada can only have theirs punched tonight if they win and Dominican Republic lose. If Mexico win, it blows the group wide open ahead of the final window. In each of the other groups, the top three advance. In this one, Nicaragua and the next best two.
Now please remain standing for the playing of the Canadian national anthem.
Canada, the current world number 5, have never won the AmeriCup. Twice silver medalists, 4 times bronze medalists. Mexico, only a couple of medals in their history, but one of them was the gold back in 2013. They're 21 places below in the FIBA rankings at 26th. Omar Quintero, the head coach of the traveling team. Nate Mitchell, the head coach for Canada in this qualifying window, having been an assistant to Jordi Fernandez at the Olympics and the World Cup the last couple of summers. The numbers perhaps a little warped, given Canada have already played Nicaragua home and away, but they've dominated so far, averaging 90.7 points a game, 12 more than Mexico. They've been moving the ball really well as a team, 27.7 assists on average, with just 11.3 turnovers. Mexico almost as many turnovers as assists. Canada's two-point accuracy superior at 60% versus 51%. Mexico, though, actually shooting it better on the outside, 35% to Canada's disappointing 30%. The Canadians are grabbing a ton of offensive rebounds off those misses, 15.3 a game, not far off double Mexico's tally, but they're not really turning them into second chance points. Only 10 a game to Mexico's 9.3. It'll be interesting to see how those numbers change here this evening. Canada a perfect 3-0 so far, top of the group. But no, the margin for error is fine in this very different looking group, given it contains the AmeriCup hosts Nicaragua. Mexico 2-1 so far, have won their last two to move on to a winning record. If they win tonight, then both of these teams are level at the top at 3-1. Canada not tested at all really in the first window, playing Nicaragua home and away. They won by 45 here on home soil over in St. Catharines, 96-51, and then by 42 on the road, 46-88. The level of the competition has risen in the second window, but they still beat Dominican Republic by 17 here on Friday, 88-71. The bar then rises again in the final window in February when they go on the road to both Dominican Republic and Mexico. So they do not want any home court slip-ups here tonight. And the starting five for Mexico, the same set of players that played in their game a couple of nights ago: Karim Rodriguez, Gael Bonilla, Fabian Jaimes, Paul Stoll, the veteran point guard, and Israel Gutierrez getting the start for them. Jaimes had 15 points, 8 rebounds in their game day 2 win then. 12 points, 8 rebounds, 6 steals in Nicaragua on Thursday for Omar Quintero's team. Gael Bonilla, the other player that really stood out. He's been impressive in each game so far. On Thursday had 20 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 blocks, and only a couple of turnovers, hitting all but one of his field goal attempts. Although somewhat strangely going 0 of 4 from the foul line. Nate Mitchell on the Canada bench was the head coach back at the last AmeriCup in 2022 when Canada lost in the semi-finals and then lost the bronze medal game. He's back in the main position for this qualifying campaign and picks this starting five here this evening. Trey Balhanes, Nate Darling. And they have the impactful Fiondu Kabengele, along with Quincy Guerriere and Thomas Kennedy. Kabengele, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, a steal and 2 blocks in only 17 minutes. On his first appearance of the campaign against Dominican Republic a couple of days ago. It's 7 of 11 from the field for Nate Mitchell's team. Nate Darling made his first appearance of this campaign as well, had 11 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and only 1 turnover. 2 players really impressing on their first performances. Aaron Best, Jackson Rowe, and Tom Kennedy perhaps have been the most impressive players who've played right the way through. Mexico 2-1, a real roller coaster of a window one. They had 18 lead changes before they lost by 14 in the Dominican Republic to start, and then had an overtime win at home to the same opponents to go 1-1, but they lost the tiebreaker against that key rival. So for them, it would truly be something special to get a road win at Canada to try and put that right. On Thursday, they went up by 26 in Nicaragua before coming under immense pressure. The gap was twice close to 5 points before they ultimately won by 9, 77-86. They finished their campaign with 2 home games in February when they host Nicaragua and Canada. You do wonder if that head-to-head tiebreaker against Dominican Republic might come costly. The opening tip, the ball immediately out of bounds. Canada do have a change to their roster. Cadre Gray coming in for this second game of the window. Didn't play on game day 3. Bonilla, only 21 years of age, the forward. One of Mexico's biggest talents. What a pass that is. The quarterback pass down the floor, punched home in the paint for the touchdown from Thomas Kennedy. So an emphatic first score for Canada. Deep three-point shot is good for Paul Stoll, the 38-year-old. In the first window, only shot 21% from 3. But then on Thursday went 4 of 7 from downtown. So he's rediscovered his shooting range here in window 2. And Mexico have the lead. Kick out, 2-point shots, try and cancel it out. And Trey Balhanes obliges. And before that one, he was only shooting 14% across the 3 games ahead of tonight. So perimeter weapons hitting the target early on. Mexico ceding possession back to Canada off the back of that Balhanes 3, so a chance for back-to-back scores for the home team. It's Balhanes again, and he'll turn it over. 188 point guard, Trey Balhanes, lots of high-level experience in Europe. He's averaging a team-high 6 assists a game in this campaign with 2.3 turnovers. Although he had been struggling with his shot, but knocks down that early 3 in this one. Stop. Bonilla around the perimeter gets it back from Jaimes. Rodriguez. Shot clock winding down, fading back, not finishing. Offensive rebound. The shot clock buzzer went off then, despite the fact there was an offensive rebound. We need shot clock now down to the final 3. 3 at the stripe. A little push shot wouldn't go for Jaimes. Canada having a real problem right now, keeping Mexico off their backboard. 3 or 4 chances in a row to convert. I mentioned before the tip that Mexico haven't been grabbing too many offensive rebounds through the course of the previous 3 games in this campaign. They can't make the most of a sequence of them there as Stoll misses the 3. Only 8.3 offensive rebounds a game coming into this one. Nice swivel and score. And what a confident shooting start. Darling doing what Balhanes had done before. Kennedy with the dunk to start it, but Mexico looking to stay in the fight, need a bit of composure. Erratic offense right now from Mexico, but great defense from Paul Stoll. Has the 38-year-old got the legs? Well, he had the court vision, but his teammate Rodriguez didn't have the clinical conversion. Blew it from close proximity when it looked a nailed-on basket. Stoll's asking for an unsportsmanlike foul. Mexico get absolutely nothing. Cabangeli passing back. Darling threading it in. And that one good for Guerrier. And points and appreciation at the pass. Guerrier had 11 points, 4 rebounds in 20 minutes on his first appearance against Dominican Republic, having not played in window 1. Lots of players who joined this Canadian crew making instant impacts. Guerrier on the turn. Foul on Best. On the defensive end, his first, Canada's first. Mexico can't protect it right now. Aaron Best, right the way through, coast to coast. And that will force a timeout on Mexico early on. Canada turning it on the offensive end, have 11 points, lead by 8. Best turning on the afterburners. Mexico turning it over time and time again.
Hey, se ponen en zona rápido aquí, mira. La juegas, Gael. La metemos a Gael el 5 y el 4 aquí, ok, de lado. Aquí, sacas Polo, saca Karim, ok. Bola aquí o bola hasta acá y aquí. Y decidimos para dónde ir, money, ok. Hey, y en defensa tenemos que jugar duro. Todos los posteos, todos la meten, no hacemos ni un foul, hay que jugar duro. Hey, camiseta. Vamos Karim, Irra, Fabián, Gael. Salimos aquí, Paul, la pasas y te vas acá. Aquí Gael, y mira la esquina. Ok, vamos cabrones, y hay que pararlo, dale, vamos. Defense, 1, 2, 3, defense.
Mexico have grabbed 4 offensive rebounds already, but they're just not turning them into points. They're 1 of 9 from the field. 0 of 7 on the interior. Paul Stoll's 3, the only basket so far for Mexico. And they've recently committed a couple of turnovers. Omar Quintero forced to call the timeout to talk it through. His team trailing by 8 points. Bonilla, he's 0 of 2 from the field. Skips it out all the way far side. Short on the shot though was Rodriguez. Canada continue to push the pace with real purpose, but much to the frustration of head coach Nate Mitchell, they turn it over. The ball agonizingly rolling out of bounds close to his feet. The claim that Rodriguez had the final touch. Not just pushing the pace with purpose on offense, they're playing aggressively and pushing on defense as well. Mexico needs something to settle them. And there's that enigmatic energy of the Canadians again. Balhaines. So disruptive on defense was Guerrier. Now the swivel and the aggression on offense to draw the foul. Showing the complete package with that defensive character and commitment. And then a piece of fancy footwork. Pure passion and positivity at both ends of the floor. For Quincy Guerrier, currently playing his rookie professional year in the G League with the Raptors. That's the second free throw to 4, so the lead is up to 9. Mexico 1 of 10 from the field now with 3 turnovers. Bonilla. Push shot from him is good. Their first 2-point conversion on their 9th attempt. Bonilla. He was a perfect 7 of 7 in the last game. Puts Mexico to 1 of 9 in this game, and a 3. And Canada say, I'll take you 2, and I'll raise you. Trey Balhaines from downtown again. 2 of 2, having shot only 14% the first 3 games. There's the 2 from Bonilla. Balhaines was having none of it. Knocked down the triple. Over the top of Stoll. There's 3 of 14. Those first 3 games, 2 of 2 tonight. Canada have the first double-digit lead. Stoll draws the defense out beyond the perimeter. They create the good look, but it won't go down for Jaimes. And Canada just relentless down the floor right now, but that time Guerrier turning it over. Look at that high press again from Canada. Really clamping down on Mexico at both ends. Mexican perimeter shooters queuing up, but not hitting the target. Stoll fakes it out to Bonilla. Ball movement creates the open shot for Stoll, and he nails it. Paul Stoll stepping up when Mexico needed a basket. They'll close the gap to 7. Stoll's got a couple of threes. Fighting his way up to the basket, through the foul, and then down to the deck to pick up all the points. Kabengele. Yondu Kabengele with the physicality, the foul, the fall, and the score, and a chance to add one from the strike. Drafted 27th overall by the Nets in 2019, Kabengele now plays in the Italian league with Venezia. Rodriguez. 9 the gap, back to Stoll. Stoll with the surely not shot, graces the wrong side of the rim. And that sums up how much the Mexican offense is struggling. Oh, great change of pace, hesitation, kick out, drawing the defense like moths to a flame, and Marcus Carr burns Mexico from the perimeter. A 12-point lead, and the perfect offense for Canada, who are quite literally playing the perfect game, shooting the basketball. 8 of 8 from the floor, including now 3 of 3 from 3. Their only misses have come from the foul line, where they're 1 of 3, but from the field, perfect. Paul Haynes had hit a couple of threes. One now for Carr as well. And they're so aggressive in getting into those passing lanes for deflections. Confidence coursing through Canadian veins. Tough shot, off right. Miss for Andriassi. Carr. Slipped through the fingertips of Amac, but still came back for his teammate. Plenty of time on the clock. Down to the final 5 now. Back out, reeled in, Blair. First field goal miss of the game for Canada after 7.5 minutes, but they get the offensive rebound off the back of it, and effectively they're still perfect from the field on every trip down the floor as Thomas Kennedy pots it in. They're 9 of 10 for their 1 miss, giving them that second chance score. Mexico will get to the line to try and close a 14-point deficit now. Kennedy baseline burst, detonates the dunk after Marcus Carr lit the fuse. Louis Pandy having come in and grabbed their first offensive rebound of the game on their first miss of the game from the field. Israel Gutierrez at the line. He's only taken a few free throws in this campaign. Knocks down both on that trip. Not a big scorer, but he puts up high efficiency average due to his rebounding and defense. Kennedy threatened the three, took it onto the interior, lost it. Cavalry arriving. Well short on the shot, then to the tip. How about if at first you don't succeed, try again. Fabian Jaimez, who had the initial miss putting it in. The Bonilla missed one in between. Amac defense backing off, inviting him to shoot. He resists the temptation. Try and circle the ball around. Mexico pack the paint, leaving the perimeter free. A miss for Blair, but another offensive rebound. They can't keep it. Mexico looking to take it back down to single figures, and they do. Andriassi, and they seem to have found their flow and found the right combination on the court. They trail by 12, they're back with an 8. Inside to Amac. Pandy. Pandy will take it strong and put it in. Holding off the defense as Canada look to hold off any chance of a Mexican comeback down the final stretch of the first. Crossover attack and a foul on the floor. That's the last to give for Mexico. Andriassi with the basket off the defensive platform. Canada hitting their first 8 field goal attempts before missing one, grabbing a rebound and putting it in. They've now missed a couple since then, so for the first time Canada, or rather Mexico, getting defensive stops, giving them this opportunity to close the gap, but they can't take it. Mexico careless with the ball, commit their 5th turnover of the first period. Five-second differential between shot clock and game clock. End of the first, so Canada likely to hold on to the ball. Quicken the offense early in the shot clock, then slow it down. Carr goes to work. Floater too heavy. Still time for Mexico here. 5 to shoot. Estrada looking back out. 3-point shot, big if it goes. It doesn't. And Mexico trail by double figures at the end of 1. Canada 24, Mexico 14. Mexico struggling for those defensive stops early on, improved in that regard the last couple of minutes. They did briefly get back from 12 down to within single figures, but it stands at 10 at the end of 1. Canada 7 of 8 from 2, 3 of 5 from 3. They did hit their first 8 field goal attempts, so they have been forced into a few misses since then. Mexico really struggling to shoot the basketball. They've grabbed 7 offensive rebounds in the game. They're only 5 of 21 from the field for 24%. It started like that for Thomas Kennedy with a long pass down the floor, putting the exclamation mark on the assist. Balhaines knocked down a couple of early threes. Canada started 5 of 5 from 2 and 3 of 3 from 3. It opened up that 12-point lead. In fact, 14 was the largest lead for Canada. Mexico closed it to 8. Balhaines finding his shooting range after struggling in that regard in this campaign. 6 points in 7 minutes of action for him. He's Canada's top scorer. Carr came in and made a big impact. Not just that 3, but a couple of assists without a turnover as well. 6 assists in the first period for Canada, albeit with 6 turnovers. If you're quick enough to catch that QR code, do download the Courtside 1891 app for all of these streams, schedules and scores, not just from this qualification campaign, but across all of the continental qualifiers and many more tournaments. It's a tool that you simply have to have on your smartphone. Saskatoon ready for the start of the second quarter. Their team leading by 10 and have the ball. Emac inbounding. Carr looking to continue to have that impressive impact. Early three for Darling. Out of bounds. I'm going to give it to Mexico, I believe. Maybe not. A sarcastic smile from Jaimez, feeling the travelling team just can't catch a break right now. Darling will take the long two on the move. Drifting and draining Nate Darling. Played 8 games in the NBA with the Hornets before now playing in the G League. Plays with San Diego. Several G League players on this Canadian roster. A handful of BCL Americas players on the Mexico team. Jaimez with 4 points now, 2 of 5 shooting. Carr. Entry pass into Kennedy, and he'll put it in. Thomas Kennedy, so efficient, not just scoring in this game, but right the way through the campaign. 9 points, 7 rebounds in just 18 minutes a game. He's already got 6 points in 7 minutes tonight. A perfect 3 of 3 now. The penetration, but not the points. After the tough shot adjustment for Karim Rodriguez. And in transition, the triple won't go down. Jaimez the rebound. That would have made it the out-and-out largest lead of the game. Estrada. Bounce pass, threading the eye of the needle through that gap. And put in the paint by Jorge Camacho, the 35-year-old power forward. Camacho having just come in for his first action. You can probably hear on the FX mics the complaints about that foul. Camacho there getting the better of Carr on the turn. Stoll on the bench, 38 years young. Averaged 35.5 minutes in the first window. He was huge down the stretch in the game day 2 win over Dominican Republic. 13 of his 16 points coming in the fourth quarter and overtime. Some players just have that incredible passion and engine to keep on playing into their late 30s. He's certainly one of them. Mexico missing a chance to close it to 7. Nice off-ball movement. Chair pulled out from underneath though. And the call is Mexico possession on the turnover of Darling. Darling just falling as he spun away. They wanted the travel. Certainly no suggestion of a foul. Bonilla exploding down the baseline, and a whistle. As Bonilla went up. There's only 1 of 4 so far. He's committed a turnover as well. It can be a game changer. That's a chance to try and build some momentum from the foul line. Gael Bonilla. 21-year-old who in the first window averaged 12.5 points, 5.5 rebounds. And then had that 20-point, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 block game on Thursday. He splits his pair. I mentioned he went 9 of 10 from the field on Thursday, but 0 of 4 from the line. And he's 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 2 from the stripe now. 9 again. Camacho's second foul. He's the only Mexican player to pick up a second. Confirmation of that alley-oop pass far too high for Cabangeli. Mexico now 4-on-2 fast break, and this time they work it perfectly for the points. Moises Andriassi, and they close the gap to only 7, forcing the first timeout on the Canadian bench. Nate Mitchell needing to talk about that sloppy play. And now Mexico are picking up pace. And also to make a few complaints to the officials.
Gray shirts to help us with it. Then we have to deal with their starting 5.
Trey, Q, Juggy, C, hit, come off, Nate, right, you don't like it? Sorry, Trey, you're on this side, Q. Hit Q, look at the flex, if not, DHO, get back feet underneath, try to punch it into feet. Okay? All right? Here we go, man.
Nate Mitchell, also head coach for Guangzhou Lions club side in the Chinese League. Experience coaching in the NBA as well, with the Hornets, Raptors and the Bucks as an assistant. This team just committing their 8th turnover of the game though. Far too many in the first 13 minutes. They've had these superior shooting percentages, but only have a 7-point lead due to the shot count. Cabangeli can't even get his shot away that time, and a sportsmanlike foul called in transition. So Mexico really have turned a corner. Canada looking confused. Let's have a look where that unsportsmanlike came from. Bonilla, full pace down the floor. We don't see it there. Rodriguez. As Mexico continue to chip away at what has been a 14-point deficit. So he makes them both, and they'll have the ball back off the back of the unsportsmanlike. The sportsmanlike was called on Trey Balhaines. After the complaints that Fiondu Cabangeli was fouled, was met with a no call. Mexico back within 5, could make it a 1-possession game here. 3-point shot, Andriassi doesn't go down. He only played 3 minutes total in the first window, the 24-year-old point guard Andriassi. Then had his first significant appearance of the campaign on Thursday. Played 22 minutes, 7 points, a couple of assists and a steal. There's only 1 of 5 on the outside though. Gets the steal here. Andriassi, defense breathing down his neck. He'll put it in. And Mexico are back within 1 shot from 12 down. Moises Andriassi offering a spark. He's got 6 points already in this one off the bench. And Nate Darling answers back for Canada. Darling 6 points on perfect 2-point shooting as well. Andriassi goes behind the back, really feeling it. Gets it back. Can't find his shooting touch still on the outside though. And there's an unsportsmanlike foul against Andriassi. as Balhaines took a tumble. I mentioned Andriassi was 1 of 5 on the outside in that game on Thursday. He's now 0 of 3 tonight, and off the back of that latest miss, bumps into Balhaines, clattering in from behind, clear and sportsmanlike. Stopping the Canadian transition. Balhaines will get a pair, and Canada will get the ball back to get their breathing room back when we return. We're going to go and look at it on a coach's challenge, but there's clearly no attempt to play the ball. You see the trail official straight away indicating the unsportsmanlike foul, having seen that contact from behind. Out of control contact. And they do, as expected, keep the original call. That coach's challenge for Omar Quintero goes begging. He's having it explained to him. So back up to 7, and it could be more. Balhaines. Shot clock down to the final few ticks. Balhaines, three-point shot doesn't go this time. They crash the glass though, and the stretch and score powerfully mid-air from Kabengele over the top of Bonilla. So Canada led by 14. Had that whittled down to 3, now back up to 9. Back out to Estrada. Estrada, tough shot on the run. And now Canada picking up steam with Balhaines. And back up by double figures. And just like that, the dynamic of the game changes again. And Mexico will have to call a timeout. Had several swings of momentum and big runs in this first half. Balhaines threatening to put together the big performance. He's been superb so far, has 10 points in as many minutes.
De que se la das a Paul, entonces hay doble salida por aquí y por acá. Okay. Hey, tenemos que seguir agresivos, cabrones. ¿Cuántos fouls llevamos? Ok, queda una. Dale. Hay que meter, dale. Vamos. 1, 2, 3.
Canada cutting out the turnovers, cutting out Mexico's offensive rebounds. 2 issues for them early on in this one. Balhaines up to 10, top scorer in the game now. Gets his first 2 after a pair of threes and a couple of free throws. Nearly by 11, right at the midway point of the second period. Andriassi still the ball handler for Mexico. Stoll is on the floor, looking to receive it now on the handoff. Gets it from Camacho. And work it around now to Rodriguez. Rodriguez into the lane. It's a tough shot again, but he pops it in up against Nate Darling. Haynes. Darling attacks a pack in the paint. Draws contact. Mexico's fourth foul already. This one on the shot, so Darling to the line. Any further fouls from the Mexican defense, shooting foul or not, will result in trips to the stripe because they're now at the limit. Well, they will be with any further fouls. 4.5 to play. Darling for his 11 points against Dominican Republic in the first game in this window was 5 of 7 from 2, 0 of 7 from 3. This one tonight, he's got 8 points already. He's going to surely take one 3-point shot that he's missed. He's 3 of 4 from 2, 2 of 2 at the line. 3-point shot goes down for Rodriguez. Mexico determined to close it to single figures. Maybe even complete the comeback for the completion of this half. They're right there in the rearview mirror. Rodriguez up to 7 now. And that's a turnover. An offensive foul. First foul on Darling. Turnover number 10 for Canada, with 4 minutes of the first half still to play. Stop. Canada's 4th. So no more to give the rest of the first half for them either now. Only the first on Guerriere. They've only got 2 on Treval Haynes. Nobody else on more than 1. 3-point shot. Too long. The rest of the rebound at the corner. Guerriere. To Balhaines, who calls the play. Cavangeli, Balhaines spins towards the baseline. The ball is kicked. That's that turnover count. Mexico protecting the ball really well. Huge difference for both teams in that regard to those numbers I gave you before the opening tip over the course of the campaign. All the footwork, side skip into the corner, nowhere near on the shot, and a violation, and turnover number 11, right on cue for Canada. That's around about their average for the tournament, and they're there in the first 17 minutes of this game. They're averaging 27.7 assists with 11.3 turnovers. 8 assists, I beg your pardon, 9 assists with 11 turnovers in this first half. So the assist tally is right on point, on pace to even surpass their average, but they're turning it over on a far more regular basis. Darling adamant that wasn't a foul. It's a tough one. Galley's picked up his second. It's a tough one because it takes Canada to the limit. Gutierrez at the line. That was a long way off. Having been 2 of 3 before that. I beg your pardon, 2 of 2 before that, so he's now 3 of 4. He calibrates his radar to knock down the second after he missed by a long way on the first. Wide open spot for the 3. And he says, don't leave me unguarded on the perimeter. Thomas Kennedy, a couple of big dunks, knocks down a big outside shot. He's got 9 in the first half. Canada back up by 10. Stoll trapped, passes on. Andriassi took it early, and he nailed it. Moises Andriassi. We talked about his three-point shooting. 1 of 8 this window before that mate. Confident still to take it on, several feet back, with several seconds left on the shot clock. 7 the gap again, up fake, jab step, pull of the trigger, short, rebound. Rodriguez trying to do well to work back with their transition defense, but they leave a player free and all go to 1. Defense out of position in transition. Not picking up their men. So 5 the gap, and they're close to another turnover. Balhaines. And the finish from Kennedy, who now has double figures, a game-high 11. Can they hold off the Mexican comeback until half-time? That's the question. Stoll whips it. He's swinging around the perimeter. The step inside, Andriassi's becoming the man. Couldn't get the bounce of the rim that time. He's got 9 points to lead Mexico in scoring. Balhaines for 3. Big rebounds, bigger block. Saved by Rodriguez. Final minute of the first half. Stoll. Mexico won't want this quarter to end. Stoll's 3. Defense got a piece of it. Balhaines. Pull up 3 in transition, off. And a whistle, I think, against Pandy here, with Canada at the limit. So Mexico will go to the line for 2. Karim Rodriguez, 2 of 2 at the line so far. He's only 2 of 9 from the field. Fabian Jaimez is only 2 of 7. Gael Bonilla only 1 of 4. Mexico have shot the ball terribly, and yet here they are with a chance to get within 5 of Canada, who for the most part have shot it well. And the reason for that is the shot count off the back of rebounds and turnovers. Pandy pushing off to try and grab that offensive rebound, classes a defensive foul. Hence the trip to the line for Rodriguez. 16-second shot clock to game clock differential off the back of this second one. It is only a 5-point game. Rodriguez up to 9. Balhaines. Balhaines doesn't go to Kennedy, goes back out to Carr, who's pushed back by Stoll. Carr then draws the double, finds the free man in the corner for the shot, but they've lost their shooting range, Canada, having started red hot. The percentages are plummeting. 6 to shoot, the spin, Bonilla went for the strong attack and came so close to completing the highlight reel finish to the first half. Well, that really would have been a big blow to Canada. Right at the second quarter buzzer, just about. It would have closed it to a 1-shot game at the half, but Mexico can still be happy with where they stand, having trailed by 14, go into the locker room only down 5 after a much improved second period. 43-38 the score, despite the fact Canada have shot 72% from two, and Mexico have shot under 40% from two and only 25% from three. Canada are actually grabbing more rebounds through the course of the game, but only 7 offensive rebounds. And Mexico, with 1 extra offensive rebound, have also committed only 4 turnovers in 20 minutes while forcing Canada into 11. So Canada have taken 33 shots, Mexico 39, as well as 3 extra free throw attempts, meaning they are right there, breathing down the necks of their hosts, despite the fact they haven't shot it anywhere near as well. But their defense has really turned it up. Canada started with tenacity on the defensive end and superior shooting on the offensive end to create that 14-point lead. Andriassi was a real spark plug in the second for Mexico, but Canada hit their first 8 field goal attempts. Since then, they've only gone 9 of 25. A real illustration of how much the defense has improved. Mexico forcing all of those turnovers, looking to get out in transition off the back of them as well. Bahrain's doing a bit of that for Canada. He's their top scorer, or one of their 2 scorers in double figures with 10, just recently overtaken by Thomas Kennedy, who's now got 11. 9 points for Karim Rodriguez, the joint top scorer for Mexico, alongside Moises Andriassi. Rodriguez only 2 of 9 from the field, though. The 2 and the 3s, 4 of 4 from the stripe, but that, in many ways, the personification of Mexico's play. Low percentages from the field. They've shot it well from the line. They've had the extra shots, limiting turnovers, grabbing offensive rebounds.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they'd do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Oh, beautiful pass. Oh my goodness. The dunk as well by Romero, and a chance for a 3-point play. Look at this pass.
I mean, if you went quickly there, you could have gotten maybe a 2-for-1. That one poked away. Inside, Roque to Tello, who puts that one home. That might put the game out of reach. Now it's surely a 2-possession game.
Led to Uruguay being able to get out in transition. There's a lovely behind the back move from Paradis, and he finishes it off. Beautiful work from Luciano Paradis.
Oh, did he nutmeg him? I think he may have. Did he throw it through the legs? If he didn't, it was right, really close. Smart to Kaminsky, and ball knocked out of his hands. Now Puerto Rico running. Oh my goodness gracious! Are you kidding me? Philip Wheeler. quickly. How about that? The alley-oop pass. Gaskins to Molinar.
Oh, the movement for the Brazilians up high. Caboclo hits the lob, finishes it off beautifully, and you can already see the talent on Bruno Caboclo.
Quickly, the USA the other way. More behind the back. Smart, and then getting it to Covington, who gets his first bucket. Another look, no look pass from Smart to Covington.
Did that go in? Are they going to count the bucket? Yes, they are. Tony Troca threw that from the United States of America. And that's how Colombia is going to take the lead, 54-53. You've got to be kidding me.
Just inside, he's not going to get that way. Over Caboclo. Jorginho now, he's got the lob. Watch out. What up high? It's thrown down by Cardoso. Crowd is fired up. Even Coraza puts his hands on his head as if to say he can't believe what he just saw. Let's take another look at that one though.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, where the hosts here are leading by 5 points at halftime over Mexico, 43-38. Having been up by as many as 14, Mexico chasing them down. The majority of that first half after Canada pulled into an early lead, and they've got close on a couple of occasions. The second time they made a big run, and it's largely down to Moises Andriassi, who's got 9 points in 13 minutes. And their joint top scorer alongside Karim Rodriguez. In fact, Mexico a +7 in his 13 minutes on court. He's 4 of 8 from the field, including a 3. And has the highest plus-minus of all Mexican players in the game. Andriassi already having his best game of this AmeriCup qualifying campaign. The 24-year-old point guard, including knocking down a rare 3. After he'd gone 1 of 8 until that point in this window. 2 scorers in double figures for Canada. Thomas Kennedy started the scoring tonight, and he finishes the first half as the top scorer in the game. A perfect 5 of 5 from the field, including a 3. He's had a few dunks, but he's also shown his range after the defense backed away from him on the perimeter. Baseline burst up to the basket. Off that pass from Marcus Carr. Earlier had a dunk, running the floor in transition. In behind the defense that time, showing a hot shot. The three-pointer as well ensures now that the Mexico defense has to respect his shot as well as his interior presence. His 11 points coming in just under 15 minutes on court, without a miss so far. Their second top scorer is Treybal Haynes, who's put together the best all-round game of any player so far, playing 15 minutes. He's got 10 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, with a couple of turnovers. He's 3 of 6 from the field, including a pair of 3s, 2 of 2 at the foul line. See your leaders in the different categories for Mexico. 2 players on the 9 points, Rodriguez and Andriassi. Jaimez has 4 rebounds, Bonilla 4 assists, to lead them creatively, but only 3 points for him on 1 of 5 shooting. Paul Stoll has 3 assists with 6 points. Behind the pair of players on 9 points, they've had Stoll on the 6, Gutierrez on 5. Jaime's only on 4 points, 2 of 7 shooting. So he and Bonilla combining for only 7 points on 3 of 12 shooting from the field. And only 1 of 2 at the line, yet Mexico are only down by 5. Lots of positive signs for them on the road here in Canada. And they perhaps can get the upset win that they want to tie the Canadians level at the top of the group. Mexico, the 2013 AmeriCup champions. In the last edition in 2022, they fell by just 5 points to Canada in the quarterfinals. They placed 5th overall. It's that same margin right now on the road in Saskatoon in the qualifiers. There's Andriassi's all-round line, 9 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal so far. I mentioned the best plus-minus of all players for Canada at +7. In fact, there's only one other player that's got a positive plus-minus. That's Jorge Camacho, Canada +1 in his 5.5 minutes. Andriassi +7 in 13 minutes. Shows how much of a spark plug and a positive influence he has been. The leaders in the different categories for Canada. We've talked about the 11 points coming from Thomas Kennedy. Talked about the 5 assists from Trey Balhanes. They've also had 4 assists from Marcus Carr in just 9.5 minutes without a single turnover. Kamangeli, the top rebounder, with 6 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds. He's also got 4 points, 2 of 3 shooting. Behind a couple of players scoring in double figures. They've got 8 points from Nate Darling on 3 of 5 shooting. But he's committed 4 turnovers. As a team, Canada committing 11 turnovers in the first half. Around about their average per game over the first 3 games of this campaign. 11 assists with 11 turnovers so far in this one. Mexico 10 assists with only 4 turnovers. And that's been a key component, perhaps the key component, to keeping this close, cutting out those turnovers. They averaged 16.7 turnovers a game in the first 3 games, only 4 at the half here. Doing that on the road at the group leaders. Canada a perfect 3-0 in Group C. Plenty of support from Mexico here as well for Omar Quintero's team. They're 2-1. Looking to make it a 3-game win streak to tie Canada level at the top. Omar Quintero was a point guard himself for the national team through his 15-year playing career. He was actually top scorer in the AmeriCup back in 2003. First took over as head coach in 2021. In that playing career, he was also the first Mexican to play in the Spanish top flight. Made a couple of EuroLeague appearances as well with Baskonia. His team only down 5. They drew by 14, they closed it to 3. Canada went up by double figures again, now they've closed it to 5. There's that courtside 1891 app. You should have it by now. If you don't, all of the stream schedules and scores are there. You simply should have that tool at your disposal to follow all of these continental qualifying competitions. And of course, the main events next year. The AmeriCup 2025 that will take place in Nicaragua. Nicaragua in this group have already got a guaranteed ticket as the host, which means only 2 tickets remain for the other 3 teams to fight over: Canada, Mexico, and Dominican Republic. Mexico lost their head-to-head against Dominican Republic, splitting the 2 games against them. So that makes this even more important they could get a win on the road in Canada, that would give their qualification hopes a huge boost. Shot on the turn is good for Cabangeli. The fade in the finish and the confident start to the second half. The other side of the story is if Canada get the win, they would have one hand on the ticket for next year's showpiece events. And the tough shooting night continues for Bonilla, now 1 of 6 from the field. Quick entry pass and a foul, but it's on the offense. An apologetic hand raised by Trebal Haynes. The foul is on Kennedy, who received the pass. It's turnover number 12 for Canada. Bonilla battling his way to the basket, looking to battle his way back into 4. Just his second field goal. Mexico continue to battle their way back from 14 down. Darling attacking, almost scooping it in on his way down to the deck. Bonilla forcefully in between a pair of defenders. No drop in confidence for him despite his shooting woes so far. Set at the half, Mexico only down 5 despite the fact James and Bonilla had only combined for 7 points. A pair of players who put up 32 between them in the last game. Averaged 26 between them in the first window. Seven again, off the back of the made foul shots. James, can he get going? Yes, he can, right on cue. Fabian James knocks down the 3. Mexico back within 4. After the tough first halves for James and Bonilla, they both make a basket inside the first 90 seconds of the third. That could spell trouble for Canada. Kennedy heavy, but how about the volleying board from Cabangeli? He moves to 8 points. Now 7 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds for Fiondu Cabangeli. They've got it at 8 rebounds. Nice stats late to update, but Bonilla now. The 2 and then the triple, and just like that, a flick of a switch, and Bonilla is back to his best, has 8 points, and Mexico are back within 1 shot again. It's Darling, and he's fouled on the shot. Now, they're saying that he kicked out his leg, Nate Darling. Is that the call? I believe it is. So Nate Darling looking to maybe draw some contact. Instead inflicts some. Watch the legs. No, I think he was initially caught on the leg. He's saying, I was fouled there. But instead he kicks out that right leg. And the foul goes on him. That's the correct call. His second foul. Yet again, Canada, so many turnovers have not solved that problem. Ball movement, Mexico, like a hot potato in Stoll's hands. 3-point shot, too long for Rodriguez. Offensive rebound again for them. And the flash and the finish into the lane, and James with another. Just 7 points combined for James and Bonilla. In the first half, they've got 8 combined already in this third quarter after 3 minutes. Mexico back within 1. Darling, tripped. No call. Tripped himself. Stoll. Swivels away. Mexico looking for the lead. No look pass. And sometimes there's a reason you look. Bonilla feeling a little bit too confident. Rodriguez misses, but the offensive rebound. Gutierrez, off-ball movement. Gomez offering the option and taking advantage of the freedom of the paint. Mexico the slight advantage in second chance points. Canada's lead whittled down to 1. Second foul on Mexico. 2 on Canada already in this quarter. Nobody on more than 2 personal fouls for Mexico, nor for Canada. And 14 turnovers for Canada here. Mexico only committing 5. Up high, Cabangeli rising to throw it down with 2 hands and hit 10. A nice pass from Carr, who's been a really efficient playmaker. 5 assists with 0 turnovers now for Carr. It's Rodriguez on the attack. Through the attention of the defense, offensive rebound they gain. Gutierrez with the second chance score. 7 for him now. Mexico continue to dominate those shot count categories. The offensive rebounds and the turnovers. And now they have a chance to take the lead from 14 down. Stoll, the veteran playmaker. Out to Rodriguez. Forced to slow it down. Pass slightly off the mark on the no-look. Stoll, so too is that pass. He recovers though. That one right in the breadbasket, doesn't go down. Haynes has gone out the gym a bit too early. 15 minutes still to play. Explosive alley-oop finish from Cabangeli. You can tell Mexico are feeling it on the offensive end. Confident crashing the glass. Fluid ball movement. Shooters starting to feel it. And he came off the back of their defense in the second quarter. Half-time interval has done little to change the narrative. A chance to complete the comeback now. Double team drawn. Stoll starting to pull the strings. 3-point shot is good for Rodriguez. And Mexico lead from 14 down. Karim Rodriguez with 12 points. Off the back of 15 in the previous game, having only averaged 4.5 in the first window. Mexico now shooting the better percentage on the perimeter. And a floater for Bal Haynes gets Canada back level. Now Canada hit their first 3 threes in this game, which means they've only gone 1 of 13 since then. Shot clock winding down on Mexico here. The handoff, Rodriguez, the hot hand. Couldn't put it in with a hand in his face. 4 minutes to play in the third. Bal Haynes off to Carr, the 2 playmakers combining. Make it 1 of the last 14 on the outside for Canada now. That one couldn't have been a better look for Carr. Gutierrez handing off to Rodriguez. Shot clock down to the final couple of ticks. I'm not sure, but he was aware straight away he was off balance. And in transition, a chance at a triple the old-fashioned way for Aaron Best. Best, who's not played a great deal in this ball game, gets it through the contact and a chance to add 1 from the strike. He's only played 7 minutes. Stoll picks up his 3rd personal. He's the first player in the game to pick up a 3rd. Mexico's 3rd team foul in the 3rd quarter. 3.5 minutes remaining of it. Aaron Best is one of the top players for Canada over the first 3 games. Averaged 14 points, 3.3 rebounds, 2 assists in 22 minutes. Superb shooting. And this is the and one there. Came into this game 55% from 2, 50% from 3, 100% from the line. 2 of 2 from the field in his limited time tonight for 4 points, but then misses the chance to tag one more to that tally. Canada by just 2. Touch tight, 27 minutes in. Rodriguez, wide open 3, lands another big blow from downtown. Karim Rodriguez has set his radar right in this second half, and the Mexican run continues. 15 for Rodriguez for the second straight game. Bonilla up to 8 assists now as well. Perfectly placed cross-court pass. Rodriguez not really having to bring it down at all before pulling the trigger. He's 3 of 8 on the outside now. And a couple of those threes coming in this quarter. Stoll picks up his 4th though. That's a problem for Mexico. So much has moved so quickly through his hands, particularly in this period. He's now dangling by a disciplinary thread. Certainly won't play the rest of the 3rd quarter. Canada the big lead in the first period, 14 points. Mexico spending the best part of the next 20 minutes trying to catch them up before succeeding. Now back and forth they go, lead change after lead change. Bonilla, 8 points, 8 assists for him. Even more playmaking responsibilities with Stoll on 4 fouls. Andriassi comes in. Tough shot trying to bank it in. Quick attack for Canada. Carr up high, beautifully done. To Air Canada, Thomas Kennedy, who soars through the Saskatoon skies once more. At the best of a bunch of dunks for him. Clocking up the air miles tonight. Carr in the control tower says to Kennedy, you are cleared for takeoff. Flight 54 rises once more. Canada by 3, timeout Mexico.
Hey, corre, güey, necesitamos que corras. Vamos short para Gael. Gael, Karim. Fabio aquí. Irra. Le entras muy ahí, lo chocas tantito, te abres, pase, y aquí está sacando tú mucho, ¿ok? Y aquí, 1, 2, y viene Karim aquí al centro para tirar. Y tú estás listo aquí para, si te la regresa. ¿Quién empieza el shorts con el 4 y el es con Gael?
Salida de presión ahora, salida de presión.
La pasas a Gael, te reversea. Vamos, cabrones, defensa, va. 1, 2, 3.
See there on the breakdown, Canada had that double-digit lead at the end of 1, led by as many as 14. Mexico got within 1 possession in that second quarter before eventually completing the comeback here in the 3rd. Several lead changes since then. 6 lead changes altogether in the game. Canada up by 3 now off the back of that big dunk from Kennedy. He was up to 13 points in 18 minutes with only 1 miss. It was the 7th assist without a turnover from Marcus Carr as well. 12.5 minutes to play in this game. This is going to get very tense indeed if it remains this tight. Bonilla. Gutierrez passes it off. Andriassi back to Bonilla. Back out to the double team. Bit of room to pull the trigger off for Andriassi. Three-point shot, not his game. Wide open spot for the shot off for Carr. Long pass down the floor. Andriassi, that's more like it. Showing his athleticism. And the finger roll falls, and Mexico back within one. Now at the foul limit, ball knocked out of bounds though. There's the Carr miss and the quick pass down the floor from Bonilla, who now has 9 assists with just a couple of turnovers. Carr, 7 assists, 0 turnovers for him. Three-point shot for Pandy. Lloyd Pandy with a rare pull of the trigger and a big three-point bucket. Only his second shot of this game. It puts Canada up 2 possessions, which in the scope of this game is now a big lead. Bonilla, fouled by Pandy. So Gael Bonilla, a chance to move within 1 assist of a double-double. This game improving immensely in this second half. As to Fabian Jaimez, the 2 players who were quiet in the first half. It's now 9 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds. And just the 2 turnovers for Bonilla. Tag one more to that tally. Mexico with a minute of the third to play, back within 2. Carr going to penetrate the paint, picks up the foul, go to the line for 2 with Mexico at the limit. Played with such positivity, the 25-year-old point guard Marcus Carr. 6 assists with just 1 turnover in 19.5 minutes on his first appearance of the campaign against Dominican Republic. An efficient start. He's been even more efficient here as a playmaker, but not efficient as a scorer. Just 1 of 6 from the field. And he hits his first free throw of the evening. Tags on a second. Canada back up by 4. 1 minute to play in the third. Bonilla, that's that long stride, passes out Rodriguez, who had the hot hand earlier on. Says, don't forget about me, I'm still here on the perimeter. 4 of 9 on the outside now, 18 points for Rodriguez. Mexico within 1. Canada can't answer. Mexico a chance to take the lead before the end of the third. Bonilla spins baseline, looking back out. He's moving it so smoothly. Rodriguez not that time, nor off the hot, fine margins. And every possession could prove pivotal as Javon Blair fails to keep hold of the ball, and Mexico will get it back. Rodriguez now 18 points. 9 threes for Mexico now. 4 of them coming from Kareem Rodriguez. Andriassi. 5-second differential. Early 3 off right from Rodriguez. This time Kennedy the rebound. And Canada look for the final score of the period. It's Carr. dancing with the defense, bouncing off to Kennedy, who pots it in. Perfectly played by Marcus Carr, who now has a perfect 10 assists without a single turnover. And Kennedy a near perfect 15 points as Canada make that the perfect play to finish the third period. 66-63 the lead with 10 to play. Kennedy leading 4 Canadian scorers in double figures now. 74% two-point shooting as a team. But yet, they're still only ahead by 3. Mexico moving it superbly that time. They've continued to do so, only committing 5 turnovers through 3 quarters of play, while dishing 17 assists. That is why they are right there, despite that powerful percentage in the paint. And inside the arc for Canada. That's also 9 threes at 33%. With Canada starting 3 of 3 on the outside, but since going 2 of 17. So the three-point shooting of Mexico, combined with taking care of the basketball and forcing turnovers with their defense on Canada, and threatening to even the one stat that really matters, the scoreline, with Canada's once 14-point lead, now just 3, with 10 to play. They've committed 15 turnovers with their 17 assists. Catch that QR code if you're quick enough on the draw to get that courtside 1891 app. Certainly want to be able to watch all of the action in that final window in February, and all of the spots and all of the continental competitions get handed out. It's the final game of the middle window of qualifying for these two teams, and such a significant one in this extra spicy group, with one ticket having already been taken by Nicaragua. That's a tough shot on the turn and a good one for Fabian Jaimez. Mexico back within 1, 66-65. Blair. It's Best who takes the 3. Off, rebound. Camacho. Mexico a chance for the lead. Andriassi drawing the defense, goes behind the back. Turnover though, and such a rare one. Only the 6th of the game for Mexico, coming after 31 minutes of play. We said that was a key ingredient in the recipe for the comeback for them. Maybe not for the comeback, but to be in the game at this point, despite struggling with their shot, particularly on the interior. They are going to turn the ball over more, and shooting on the inside is going to have to improve, or they're going to have to keep knocking down those threes at a high rate. Stumble, fumble, recovery, shot off. The defense getting out quickly to Aaron Best. Another chance to take the lead again. They work it through multiple hands into Bonilla. Bonilla looking to expose a mismatch, gets it back. Tipped away by Kennedy, fair game on the rim, and then he grabs the defensive rebound. Not giving the ball a chance to bounce into the bucket. Three-point shot off the back of that hustle play from Kennedy. More hustle on the other backboard this time. Thomas Kennedy impacting things at both ends in a big way, and he gets it back and finishes a super sequence with a score. Thomas Kennedy taking charge in the paint, not at one end but both. Canada by 3. Andriassi's going to pull up for the deep three. Over Kennedy, missed it. Offensive rebounds. Andriassi, this time fouled by Kennedy. First foul for Canada. Kennedy now has 17 points on 8 of 9 shooting. 5 rebounds. There's a look at that sequence. The tip off the rim, the defensive boards, had an offensive rebound before that score as well. "17 points, 5 rebounds in less than 22 minutes. He goes to the bench for now. 7.5 minutes to play. Shot clock down to the final few ticks here. Slipped in by Camacho. Back out. Gets it for the three-point shot. Jorge Camacho, and he drills it at the buzzer for the tie. 33 minutes. And you can't split these two. 68-68. Canada can't cancel it. Bonilla. The long pass down the floor. But what a chase back to get the ball back from Javon Blair. Three-point shot for Darling, misses. Every single possession now feels like crunch time already with 7 minutes to play and so much hanging in the balance here. Such a tough Group C. Taking the ring road around the defense, but not getting to his desired destination was Andriassi. Mexico somehow get the ball back though. And then a foul, the second foul on Canada here in the fourth. Timer's back out. Camacho pots it in from the perimeter. The 10th three for Mexico, 34%. Andriassi's inbounds. Camacho. Bonilla. Such a tough first half, but threatening a big second half. Camacho, having just made one, misses. It's now 11 assists for Bonilla. 10 points. He does have the double-double. Oh my goodness! Fiondu Kabengele getting highlight reel high. Talk about a double-double. 12 points, 10 boards for him. Canada by 2. Bonilla forced away. Bounce pass through a gap. Risky pass. Well read by the defense. The steal from Darling. Canada looking to turn up the intensity here. Darling fouled on the 3. A player who was 0 of 7 in the last game and 0 of 3 tonight. So 0 for 10 in this window, fouled on the 3. And there's that highlight play, Kabengele. Third foul on Camacho. Now they haven't called a foul on the shot, in fact. So best just the inbounds. Balhates. Bumping bodies, baseline, volleying his opponent back, but missing the shot, Guerriere. Mexico with Bonilla. Midway point of the final quarter. Coming around on the curl and getting the roll around on the rim for the 3 and the lead. That man again, Karim Rodriguez, with his 5th 3 and up to 21 points. Timeouts. Nate Mitchell on the Canada bench. The curl, the convert, the confidence, the chemistry. And Mexico sensing it could be a huge win here tonight. Let's take a look at the game leaders for Canada. The 17 points for Kennedy, 10 rebounds for Kabengele as part of that double-double. Carr with the 10 assists. So many impressive stat lines. What you don't see there is the turnover count. Both teams working it well for plenty of assists, but Canada with 15 turnovers. Mexico have only committed 8, but it was at 4, I believe, over the first 3 quarters. So Canada are forcing a few more turnovers on Mexico now. We said, didn't we, that if Mexico were going to start turning it over better, their shooting would have to get better, and it has done. They've knocked down 11 threes at 36% now. 5 of those threes coming through Karim Rodriguez, who's given them the lead. Pressure defense from Andriassi. Balhane's on the bounce, side skip, 3-point shot for him, nowhere near, picked up underneath by Kabengele and fouled on his way up. He'll go to the line for 2. Greek League All-Star with AEK Athens in 2023, also a G League champion with the Celtics the previous year. Previously made the All-G League second team. Played 55 NBA games with the Celtics, Cavs and Clippers. "13 points, 11 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds for Kabengele tonight. Misses the second, so fails to give Canada the lead. He's got the best efficiency on the team. 20 now. 4.5 to play. Look level at 71. Aggressive pressure defense from Canada now, forcing Mexico to the final 2 seconds of the shot clock. Andriassi has to put it up. Well short. Kabengele did the defensive job on him and then got to the rebound first, knocking it to Guerriere. Mexico only 1 foul to give the rest of the game, and there it is. So any further fouls for the rest of proceedings on their defense will send Canada to the foul line for a pair. It's Aaron Best trying to get away, tangled up by Andriassi. Kabengele. Balhane's off to Darley. Balhane's again. Oh, fires it into the hands of Kabengele. He'll be frustrated, but he couldn't convert. Instead, he goes to the line for 2. Kabengele feeling like he had position and power to be able to put it in against Rodriguez there. He's only 1 of 3 at the line, but he hits the first. Every point could be so important. How about a big pair for Kabengele? 15 points, 11 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. Andriassi, the ball handler, and 3 personal fouls. Not much of a playmaker, Andriassi, only the 1 assist so far. Oh, that one. Well, it had to be blocked out of bounds. It was so far off, and it was. 4 left on the shot clock. Guerriere on the closeout. With 1 leg on the move. Offensive rebound. Andriassi, what a rebound that is. And he stayed in bounds somehow. Went back down the baseline. Camacho for 3. short off the excellent play from Andriassi. The burst to the basket from the man whose devotion and emotion shows no bounds. Val Haynes up to 16 points. Canada's lead up to 2 possessions. That's big right now with 3 minutes to play. It's been a one-possession game for so long, it seems. Val Haynes on defense as well. Endless energy towards the end of the game for Trey Balhaines. Now he'll slow it down to show a bit of composure before injecting more energy, but not more points. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. A steal and just 2 turnovers for Trey Balhaines. Two minutes and 40 seconds. Canada's perfect record is very much under threat, despite the fact they had an early 14-point lead. Crossover Rodriguez turns it over, looking around for help from the baseline official, doesn't get any. And now Canada have the numbers, and they have Trey Balhaines, who, if anything, is only getting quicker the longer the game goes on. Canada by 6, the biggest lead in a long time. And Balhaines has 18 points, along with 7 assists and 5 rebounds. Stoll back in on 4 fouls, didn't want to foul out. Timeout Mexico, Canada by 6, 77-71. The big key for Canada has been cutting out the turnovers, as we see the two sides of their shooting story. 73% from 2, 19% from 3, despite making their first 3 in a row. Mexico have knocked down more than double the number of 3s to make up for their poor interior percentage. But Canada had 11 turnovers at half-time. They've only committed 4 since. They have the 6-point lead with 2.5 minutes to play. Bonilla. Moving bodies in his weight, but has to look back out to Andriassi. Stop. Harassed by Best. Draws the high double. Jaimez, he's gone quiet. Kicks it out, 3-point shot. Closeout got tight, made it tough. Now Balhaines will settle. This is the calm before the storm that he's bringing. On the burst to the basket again. Balhaines couldn't get the bounce, batted back out. They'll be happy to take time off the clock before hopefully going for the kill for them and making it a 3-possession lead. That would be the perfect outcome. And it's good for Best. The push shot right at the end of the shot clock, off the back of the offensive rebounds. Only a minute and a half to play, an 8-point lead. Canada very nearly there. The defense from Kabengele as well. And they will flood forward for the flying finish. Aaron Best to seal it in style. The explosion, the elevation, the exclamation, and afterwards the emotion. Best on the floater. And then on the takeoff in transition. Well, that is game, set and match, up by 10. With 84 seconds to play. Canada are going to go a perfect 4-0 at the top of Group C. Mexico will see their 2-game win streak ended and fall to 2-2. Have scored just 8 points in this period. Nate Mitchell's team finishing with a flurry. We said Aaron Best hadn't played a great deal and had been quiet. Half of his 8 points coming in the last few seconds. They've had 18 points from Balhaines, 17 from Kennedy, 15 from Cabangeli, 10 from Darling. Just like that, Mexico's chances up in smoke. They're still playing a battling brand of defense. Mexico's turnover count up to 11 now. They only had 4 in the first half, so a flip to script in that regard. Second half, Canada protecting the ball much better. Mexico committing more turnovers. So despite the fact they've knocked down more threes and improved their shooting, it's Canada with that double-digit lead. Mexico running out of time in more ways than one. Only 2 seconds left on this shot clock. Only 72 left in the game, down 10. Now the win for Canada, which looks inevitable now. They'll put one hand on a ticket and it will mean they do officially qualify for next year's AmeriCup if Nicaragua were to beat Dominican Republic in the last game in this group in this window, which tips off in just over 3 hours' time. The heave and the hope, the prayer that's not answered, and any chance of a win bounces away from Mexico as the ball bounces beyond the baseline. Such a big win for Canada, considering they go on the road to both Mexico and Dominican Republic in that final window in February. Balhaines making a play for player of the game. And that deflected by Bonilla and then out of bounds with the Canadian player. Bonilla's 11 assist game. He's going to come on the wrong side of the result. He's closing in on a triple-double. He'll just run out of time in that regard as well. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. There he goes again, Bonilla. Nacho puts it on the floor, back out to Bonilla on his foul. The negative side of his story tonight, however, is 3 of 12 shooting from the field and 5 turnovers. So it means despite the fact he's flirting with a triple-double, he's only on a 14 efficiency. Andriassi crosses over against Cabangeli, throws it over his head, back out to Stoll. And one more second half turnover for Mexico. They've nearly committed as many turnovers as Canada now, after a huge disparity in that regard at half-time. I believe Canada had 11 turnovers at half-time. They've only committed 5 in the second half. I think Mexico only had 4, which means they've committed 9 in the second half. especially the points off turnovers. Mexico making the most of all of those Canadian turnovers first half. Canada protecting the ball much better to keep Mexico at bay in the second, and Bal Haynes will hit 20. 20 for Trey, along with 7 assists and 5 rebounds. Throw in a couple of steals on defense. He has been all guns blazing. High octane energy from start to finish. The fabulous floater to hit 20 for the night. Bal Haynes 7 of 14 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. There's a 25 efficiency. Still not the outright highest in the game. His teammate, Fiondu Kabengele, also has a 25 efficiency with 15 points, 12 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds and a steal. Those offensive rebounds crucial as well for Canada, because it was Mexico grabbing all of them early on. We talked about the possession count. Both of those categories, the offensive rebounds and the turnovers, favored the guests so palpably at the half, not so at the finish. They're going to play for every point, of course, because it could ultimately come down to points differential in this fight for 2 tickets between 3 teams. 7.1 to play, 10 is the lead for Canada. Just mentioned they will go to Mexico in the final window. If those 2 teams finished level in terms of their win-loss record at the end of 6 games played, then it would be the points differential in the 2 games they play against each other that would decide who would finish ahead. Look at the leaders in the various categories there. You have to mention Marcus Carr's 10 assists have come with 0 turnovers. Both teams with plenty of assists. Mexico were doing it without turnovers early on. Now that is not the case. We just saw that a large proportion of their points were coming off the back of Canadian turnovers early on. Canada protecting the ball so much better in the second half. And that has allowed them, in part, to pull away from Mexico at the finish. Seven seconds for one final score. A balance at centre court for Bal Haynes. They're all chasing shadows when he's got the ball. Another pass. The 3 wouldn't drop for the perfect finish for Guerriere, but Canada will happily take the win as they go a perfect 4-0 at the top of Group C, beating Mexico by 10, 83-73 here in Saskatoon. They had to work for it, but they got that 4th straight win, the most they've been pushed at any point in this campaign. They saw a 14-point lead fall at the hands of Mexico, who took several leads of their own, albeit small ones. Canada then found the combinations and the components and the answers to the problems Mexico were posing in that 4th quarter, and produced, under pressure at home, as favourites, trailing, produced an excellent period, particularly on the defensive end, to come through with the double-digit win. A 17-10 4th quarter in favour of Canada. That after Mexico had won the middle 2 periods to overturn that earlier 14-point deficit. Some big stat lines for the home team. Trey Bal Haynes, 20 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals and only 2 turnovers for a 25 efficiency. Fiondu Kabengele, the 15 points, 12 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, a steal and only 1 turnover, also for a 25 efficiency. And they survive, only shooting 19% from 3, which included making only 2 of their last 24 attempts on the outside. The reason they survived that was the 73% two-point shooting that was consistent and sky high right the way throughout the full 40. Kennedy, the second top scorer for Canada, did it with only one miss, 8 of 9 shooting, including a 3. He had 5 rebounds as well. He had the third best efficiency in the game. Nate Darling, also in double digits, had 10 points, but also 7 turnovers. Aaron Best finished with a couple of big buckets. Ended up on 8 points. It was a wonderful watch right the way through, and you wondered if Canada might pull away and make it an easy night in Saskatoon, the way they started the game. But Mexico showed their fighting spirit, got back. Needed big plays, Canada, like that from Kabengele, putting his opponent on a poster off one of those 7 assists from Bal Haynes. What about the performance of Karim Rodriguez, shooting the ball particularly on the perimeter? 5 threes from Rodriguez for 21 points. The highest in the game. 4 scores in double figures for Mexico. Bonilla, 10 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, but only 3 of 12 shooting and 5 turnovers. Fabian Jaimez, 11.7 rebounds and a couple of steals. Moses Andriassi, 13 points. But Best would seal it in style. With that defensive platform for Canada, something from which they could lift off to lift the W at the finish. The Canadian flag flying high here, and the Canadian team flying high in Group C. Now at a perfect 4-0 at the top. Mexico falling to 2-2. Nicaragua hosts Dominican Republic in around 3 hours' time. Canada will be through if Nicaragua get an upset first ever win on this stage. From me, Tim Long, a pleasure in your company. We'll see you next time.